fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here.
I have a dream today.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
And we will make America great again.
This is America First with Sebastion Gorka.
Yes, Solomon's baby has been split. The Gordian knot has been cut. The president has very wisely decided to sign this absurd, pathetic GOP quote-unquote negotiated spending bill, 1,100 pages that nobody's actually read. But he will also declare a state of national emergency to build the wall and secure our nation. I'm Sebastion Gorka, former Deputy Assistant to President Trump and host of the newest national radio show in America, coast to coast, on more than 300 stations, affiliates, and platforms, fighting the culture war for this great nation. It's always, green rooms are weird places. The places where you go to TV studio to hang out before you have to do your hit. They're weird places because sometimes there are people there you don't want to hang out with. But when you see my next guest, former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Joe DiGenova, it is always going to be a great time, and especially if his muse, Victoria Tunsing, is with him. Joe, welcome to America First.
Thank you, Sebastion, and congratulations on the show.
Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. I'm just going to let you be you, and I'm going to play an audio cut from Andy McCabe with Scott Pelley. Cut 2.
How long was it after that you decided to start the obstruction of justice and counterintelligence investigations involving the president?
I think the next day I met with the team investigating the Russia cases, and I asked the team to go back and conduct an assessment to determine where are we with these efforts and what steps do we need to take going forward.
Your reactions, Joe DiGenova.
Well, Andrew McCabe is a desperate man. He has been referred for criminal prosecution for perjury, false statements, lying under oath by the Inspector General of the Department of Justice. He has a narrative out there that is purposely designed to make him look like he was just doing his job. In fact, what he was doing was he was trying to frame the President of the United States and the President-elect of the United States for crimes that he did not commit. Mr. McCabe was part of a cabal which had two goals: to illegally exonerate Hillary Clinton from her illegal email server and violations of the espionage statute, and then get her elected. But if she lost, their second part of their scheme was to frame Donald Trump and to ultimately have him removed from office either through impeachment or through the use of the 25th Amendment for incapacitation. There was never a basis to conduct any investigation of either the Trump campaign or Trump himself. This was a coup d'etat based on a desire to help Hillary Clinton. It's never been anything else. And McCabe's worst nightmare just happened today. Bill Barr was confirmed 54-45 as the next Attorney General of the United States.
Can I stop you there for a second? Can I stop you there? Because even in the conservative press, there's a lot of negative reporting on Bill Barr. Somebody I trust implicitly who worked with Bill Barr in the DOJ said this is exactly the person Donald Trump needs. He is a quiet knife fighter. Joe DiGenova, Why is this good news?
It's good news because Bill Barr is a perfect choice. He represents integrity, honesty, but more than that, he knows the Department of Justice inside and out, and he knows how to deal with it and how to crush people. And McCabe knows that from his experience there, and he knows that he better start getting measurements for his orange jumpsuit.
But he's on a book tour. This man is on... How is this possible, Joe? That this man is on a book tour lecturing us about how he's the new Spartacus.
Think about this. Both the former director of the FBI, James Comey, the former deputy director and acting director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, were both fired for violating the law and for violating the standards of ethics and professional responsibility of the FBI and the Department of Justice. They are both on book tours because they are conducting a classic Soviet intel operation to undermine an elected representative. This is classic Soviet behavior. What you are watching in the case of Andrew McCabe and James Comey are the classic activities of Soviet agents trying to undermine an elected government. And it's truly remarkable. And we wouldn't be here were it not for Rod Rosenstein and James Comey and Andrew McCabe and the pathetic Jeff Sessions, who couldn't figure out how to become an attorney general and act like one. We wouldn't be where we are now if Bill Barr had been the attorney general. But we are where we are. And I hope Mr. McCabe continues to make public statements, which will then be used against him in any judicial proceeding.
We have the best callers here on this show, and a caller who's been waiting patiently just dropped off, and he raised a very interesting question. You said that they wanted to convict the president for a crime he didn't commit. But it's not just that. There was no crime to commit. And our caller said, where's the crime? Joe DiGenova, where's the crime that predicated the special prosecutor Mueller, the counterintelligence investigation? There is no crime. Am I correct?
You are correct. There never was a crime. That's why when Rod Rosenstein appointed Mueller out of a fit of pique because he didn't like the way the president was explaining the reasons he fired Comey, he didn't have a crime. And so in the appointment memorandum, it was a counterintelligence investigation. There is no authority to appoint a special counsel for a counterintelligence investigation. And so later on, in August, he wrote a second memo creating reasons, which we have never seen, acting like crimes had been committed. But remember, Rosenstein actually he's either one of two things. He's either a material witness because he signed one of the FISA applications against Carter Page, which were clearly fraudulent, or he knowingly did it and he's a co-conspirator, which means he never should have either appointed Mueller or supervised him. He will be gone within the next 14 days, which is why he's giving off-the-record background interviews to a series of newspapers to protect himself when he leaves.
In the last minute we have with you, and thank you for tearing yourself away from your muse, Victoria Tunsing, on Valentine's Day. You know you've got a buddy when he's prepared to come on your show, and I hope I don't get in trouble with Victoria. You're confident that justice will be served?
I am. I believe that Bill Barr is committed to fully investigating the FISA violations and all the violations by the FBI and FBI contractors. In addition, I spoke with Lindsey Graham last night in one of your famous green rooms at Fox, and he made it very clear that he has already delved in deeply into the FISA warrant process, and it's going to get ugly.
Wow. Exciting times ahead, and I can think of nobody better than having Joe DiGenova on our program. Thank you for fighting. Thank your wife for fighting. This is about the Republic. It's about the safety of every American, about political actors out of control, spying on fellow Americans for political purposes and attempting to subvert a duly elected president. Nothing less than that. You've been listening to Joe DiGenova. This is Sebastion Gorka, America First, on the Salem Radio Network from the ReliefFactor.com studios. Next, we will hear from none other than Candace Owens. Do not touch that dial. If you want to call us, the number's 833-33-GORKA. That's 833-334-6752.
This is not CNN.
Baseball today. It's the American way. Of course, the next best thing to a seat in the stands is a seat in front of a 19-inch RCA Victor television. One more day to Labor Day weekend, the traditional occasion for tasty outdoor barbecues or picnics.
agree with all the obstacles and with all the enemies who are between me and...
Thank you.